videos. So this video I'm going to do is a video that's going to kind of really be on a personal level. I'm kind of gonna go into details with some things. So I just want to first start out by saying in no way the things that I talk about in this video am I a doctor. The only stuff that I talk about is stuff that I have been told along the way. So again, like, don't go based on by what I say. This is completely just stuff that I learned. This is my own opinion, and I am not a doctor by profession. Probably would have liked to be, because I could be making a lot of money right now, but yeah, didn't want to go to school for that long. So this video is going to touch a lot of people, I'm sure, and I wanted to make this video for anyone else who is going through the same thing as me, and just kind of let them know what I went through as far as my situation. Of course, each and every individual's situation is different, and the topic that I'm talking about is infertility. I have had my own infertility issues, and there are a few friends close to me that have had infertility issues that still are going through it and have gone through it. Thank the Lord above, a couple of my friends that did have issues, they were able to conceive and have children due to modern medicine, which was very great. And you don't really know what a person goes through unless you have been through that. So I just wanted to basically throw my story out there and let everyone know what I went through, and just kind of be a support system for anyone else who might be going through it. So my situation is a little different. I did not have to do IUI, nor did I have to do IVF, so that I was really blessed in that sense there. My infertility, don't mind if I look down, I actually took notes so I could tell you guys the correct things and not just go off. So my infertility was due to a prolactinoma, and a prolactinoma is basically a tumor in your pituitary glands, and the symptoms of that is infertility, menstrual changes, milk production in the breasts, and lower libido. How I found out that I had a prolactinoma was at a young age. When I went for an exam, we had noticed that my breasts were producing milk. So we went to the doctors, and sure enough, that's what it was. With the prolactinoma, basically my prolactin levels were high. So normal prolactin levels is 2 to 29. Mine was 150. Prolactin is a hormone which the pituitary gland releases to stimulate breast milk production after a child is born. So pregnant women have a higher prolactin level. So basically, my body was acting as if it was pregnant, but I wasn't. So I went and saw an endocrinologist, and an endocrinologist basically studies diseases related to the glands. If you know someone or you yourself have struggled with diabetes, an endocrinologist is a person who you would go see. So we knew what was going on, and I was put on a prescription to shrink my to shrink my prolactinoma. So I took the medication for a while and went back and did some more tests, and they couldn't find the tumor, so apparently the medication had worked. So years and years and years go by, and I'm still not having my menstrual cycles, even with taking that medication. I completely stopped menstruating when I was 18 years old. Therefore, if you're not menstruating, you're not ovulating, and so then in 2004, I go to getting ready to go on vacation with my husband to go see his family, and I get a really bad pain in my side, thinking that it's a kidney infection. I'm downing cranberry pills, I'm downing ibuprofen, water, cranberry juice, and the pain is literally just getting worse and worse and worse. The pain was so bad that I literally had to have my brother take me to the hospital because I could not drive. So when I went into the emergency room, they did a bunch of tests and couldn't find anything. So at that time, the surgeon comes in and basically has me sign a release form stating that they have to go in and see what's causing the pain, and I give them consent to take everything out, depending on what it is. So they go in, and I go into surgery, and what had happened was I had a cyst that had basically grown, I think it was like the size of a softball. It had gotten so big that my fallopian tube had wrapped itself around it and was becoming engorged with fluid and was about to burst. So they went in and they took the cyst out and also took my fallopian tube out. But in the midst of all of that, because of what was going on, it had caused an infection. So the infection had gone over to my other fallopian tube. Now, our fallopian tubes are supposed to be basically swimming kind of like this or open like this, like a jellyfish. Mine had collapsed. So the doctor told me at that time if I was going to try to conceive, I had a 95% chance that it would be a dual pregnancy. So that was basically working against us for when me and my husband did decide that we want to have children. When I was 29, on my 29th birthday, and this is, again, I had stopped menstruating when I was 18. On my 29th birthday, I woke up to a full-blown menstrual cycle. I was freaking out because this meant that there might be hope that I might be able to get pregnant. I mean, I literally couldn't believe it. It was the weirdest thing. 11 years of not having a menstrual cycle, and then I wake up on my 29th birthday to one. So I rushed to the doctor to find out what's going on because I'm a little bit freaked out. And the doctor at the urgent care basically told me it's probably just my body resetting itself in some way. So I call it a miracle, some might not, but with the miracle of me starting my menstrual cycle, I decided to go ahead and start doing my medicine again. And so I went and seen an endocrinologist, and they put me on a prescription of Diagnose. It was a pill that I took 1 day a week. Now, if I wouldn't have gone on the Diagnose, even though I was having my periods, I still wasn't ovulating. So that time with me having a period, we're thinking maybe everything's working and we're trying. It's still basically there was no point in trying because I wasn't ovulating. So they put me on Diagnose, and I probably took Diagnose for about a year, and it probably got to the point where we really just think it wasn't going to happen. If you've ever been in a position, well, not a position, if you've ever been a person or know a person that has had to deal with infertility, it's hard. As women, that's what, that's our nature. I mean, I guess some women choose not to have children, which is completely fine. But a lot of women, they long to have a child. We thought about adoption, but that would have been like a last resort. For me, I really, really, really wanted to hold my own child and carry my own child, and not thinking that it was going to happen. Sorry. And not thinking that it was going to happen was a huge thing for me, because that's all I wanted in life, and I know my husband really, really, really wanted children too. And so to think that I wasn't going to be able to give that to him was hard for me to take. So it's just a really hard and emotional thing, and then you hear all these horror stories of parents that are having children and neglecting them or killing them, and I got angry with God because I tried to be a good Christian woman, and I just got really angry with him and was like, I figured, there's so many women out there that want children and can't have them. And then you have all these people out there that are having children and basically are just tossing them away like they're nothing. So I was really angry for a long time. So I think while all that was going on, me and my husband, we pretty much just took a step back. I still stayed on my prescription, but we were both just figuring like it wasn't going to happen. We knew in our minds that we weren't going to be able to have a child. In the midst of all of this, I still kind of held on to a glimmer of hope, and I would take pregnancy tests here and there because I knew that I was taking the medication. So even though I was taking it for a year, just in case, I wanted to make sure that if for some reason it happened, oh my gosh, I just want to be safe. So I was training for my half marathon, and I came home from work one day, and it was one of my off days. And so I was going to the store because I wanted a Bloody Mary. And so I decided to also grab a pregnancy test the same time to see, I guess just to make sure that before I drink this Bloody Mary, nothing's going to happen. The reason that set me off to take that pregnancy test was once I started having my periods again, they were always regular. Unlike before, they were irregular. I mean, I could go 6 months without having a period, and then I'd have a period. So, they were always regular, and they would always happen the first week or the first Sunday of the month. Well, this time I didn't have one, and I figured, oh, it could be just because I started taking these diet shakes, and I've been working out a lot, so maybe it's just getting off track. But I still better just go ahead and check just in case. So I go into the bathroom, and I, of course, pee on the stick, and I sit there and wait. And it's one of the ones that flash, not the 2-line ones, the digital ones that flash pregnant or not pregnant. And I thought for sure, just like any other test that I had taken, it was going to say not pregnant. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, the thing flashes, and it says pregnant. And I literally started freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And my husband's like, what? And I said, you need to look at this. I couldn't believe that this dang stick said pregnant. I should have bought stock in pregnancy tests because I must have taken in that whole year probably 50 to 60 just hoping that it was going to say pregnant, knowing in the back of my mind I was not going to be able to have children and it was going to say the same thing over and over and over again. The feeling is indescribable. We were excited, but after being told so many years ago that I had a 95% chance of having a tubal pregnancy, because mind you, I only had one fallopian tube, we were scared. So I went into the doctor's and made an appointment right away to get it checked out. And when I went in to go see the first ultrasound, all they could see was basically kind of like the yolk sac, or the sac, but they couldn't see a baby. And so I was freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, we have waited so long for this, and it's not going to happen. So I had asked the doctor, I said, well, even though there's a yolk sac in there, what could that mean? Could it mean that we just can't see the baby? Or if it was a tubal pregnancy, would my body still make the yolk sac for the baby to be in? So they're like, well, we're going to run some tests. We're going to run some blood tests. If you're having a normal pregnancy, your blood test will... I forgot what hormone it was called that basically raises, and that's how the pregnancy tests can tell that you are pregnant. Sorry, I forgot what it was. But if this is normal, then it's a normal pregnancy. But if your tests are lower, then yes, it most likely is a tubal pregnancy. So I went and take my tests, and I had to wait 2 or 3 days. And that was the longest 2 or 3 days of my life, because this is something that we had wanted for so long. And we were so excited but so scared at the same time, knowing that our dream could have been ripped out from under us. So The doctor called and my tests were normal. I was having a normal pregnancy. It was such a sigh of relief because I know what it feels like not to be able to... I know what it feels like to think that you're not going to be able to have a child. So, everything was good. I was having a normal pregnancy, and I went in a couple weeks later and got to see my little baby, and he was just like a little shrimp. And you could see his heart beating, and it was just an amazing feeling. So yeah, we were able to get pregnant. Basically my infertility story and what happened to me. I was diagnosed with the prolactinoma, which made my prolactin level shoot out the roof, which basically made my body act like I was pregnant but not. And so I needed to be put on a pill called Dostinex to lower my prolactin level and help me to ovulate. Now, I am not going to say that all 100% was modern medicine. Yes, I'm going to say a big part of it was, but a big part of it too was the Lord. Everyone is entitled to believe what they believe. And again, this is my opinion and then just what I believe. And I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anyone else, but just talk about how I feel. I feel that God had a big part in us being able to have Grayson. I feel that God had picked the right time for us to have a child. We don't know why God does what He does, and we may never know until later on down the road. And I feel that He felt that at this time we were completely ready in our lives to be able to have a child. And I feel like He had a big, big, big part in it. And if it wasn't for Him, and if it wasn't for modern medicine, who knows where we would be. But that's just my feeling, and that's my story. But I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's a little bit personal. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it.